Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. It is my second YouTube video back since my break, so yay me for sticking to a routine and sticking to a plan. Can I guarantee that that will continue in the future? No, but I'm gonna do my best. So today's video is books that I want to read before the end of March. Because I jumped back on this little YouTube train in the middle of March, I figured doing a March TBR was a little bit pointless because there is no way that I'm going to be able to create a full TBR and read said books in 2 weeks. So you're getting the books I want to finish before the end of March. It's not going to include the books I've already read, obviously, but it's going to include the books that I want to get finished before the end of the month. It's a pretty short list, as you could imagine, because there's 2 weeks left in March. But still an important list of books that I want to get read this month. So let's dive right in. So the first book that I have on my list for books that I want to read before the end of March is Covet by Tracy Wolff. This is the third installment of CRAVE. If you have not heard of CRAVE, CRAVE is essentially a modern day Twilight is what it's being marketed as. I personally don't see too much of Twilight in there, maybe a little bit. I think it's a modern day Vampire Academy. It is witty, it is sarcastic, it is chock full of pop culture references, and honestly it's one of the better vampire books that I have ever read. It's fast paced, it is massive, but it feels like it's not enough, if that makes sense, where you're literally reading 700-page books and you finish and you're like, that's it? I need more. Covet is the third one in the series. I just finished Crush, the second one, about a week and a half ago, and I was obsessed. I liked it even more than the first book, and I have heard from a dear friend of mine that this is going to destroy me. So I'm very excited. Katie, I cannot wait to be destroyed. But this is on my list to read before the end of March because while the series is still fresh in my mind, I would like to continue on before I forget everything because I tend to forget everything I read. Literally everything. So yeah. So if you haven't picked up CRAVE, you have plenty of time to pick up CRAVE before the fourth and final book comes out this fall. I would definitely recommend binge reading the series. It is 100% worth it. I have now convinced my best friend to read the series, so I'm very excited to see how she feels along the way and see if it's very similar to the way that I was feeling. But yeah, let me know if you've read CRAVE, Crush, or Covet in the comments below. I'll be very intrigued to see what your non-spoilery thoughts are on the book. Moving on. I have 2 more books left on my March TBR. And these are 2 books that I have been meaning to read for literally ever. For literally ever. I'm making that a new word now. One word, for literally ever. Some of you might be able to guess what this is. And no, it's not Throne of Glass. That's not high on my list yet. Sorry. The last 2 books on my March TBR, without further ado, is Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. I don't want to talk about it. Alright, obviously we have to talk about it. So, years ago when the Grisha trilogy was first coming out, I read those books as they were coming out. And it was a ride. It was a time. It was an adventure. I didn't have much to compare it to, so I didn't really dislike it. I remember actually being really interested in the first one and really liking the second one. However, Ruin and Rising was not my favorite. I had just finished Ruin and Rising, and I immediately started reading Six of Crows because it had just come out, and I remember picking it up and starting the first chapter and being like, no, absolutely not. I need a break from this world. We need space. We need to distance ourselves. We are on a break. This is it. I will come back to you eventually fondly. And that was years ago. Whenever Six of Crows came out, which, let me just out myself right now. I took a break. I took a break from this book in 2015. It's 2021 and I still have not read it. Also, look, I met Leigh Bardugo when this first came out and I was really excited to start it. And then I waited until now to read it. It's been 6 years. Oof. It's been 6 years. So you might be asking yourself, why, Danielle? Why are you all of a sudden wanting to read this book? And the reason for that is pretty obvious for most of you. Shadow and Bone is coming to Netflix. Shadow and Bone is coming to Netflix in April. And I was like, oh, okay, amazing, I'm so excited. I've read the Grishaverse, and then somebody told me that it also includes characters from Six of Crows. I haven't read Six of Crows. I mean, we've established this, but I can't watch it now if I haven't read this. So now I have to read the... I've heard nothing but good things from people about Six of Crows, but I think now that it's just been so long, we're on this understanding that we're apart now, you know? Now we have to exist in the same room and acknowledge each other and admit our faults and apologize and somehow come back together and accomplish this goal. So, Six of Crows, I am so sorry. You should be sorry too, though, because your predecessor was not it. Yes, but anyway, my remaining March TBR is very small. Very small. Just, you know, 3 books. However, ow, 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 ow. Oh, did you hear that? Oh, it ripped my hair out. Wow. The audacity. That's what it said. It said, well, if you wait 6 years to read me, I'll just rip your hair out. Okay. Anyway, all these look so good together. Love. Dusty. Gross. But yeah, my remaining March TBR is small. It's 3 books. However, they're massive and we have 2 weeks left. Top of my priority is definitely the Six of Crows duology because, again, I want to read them before the show comes out. However, I also really want to get to Covet because I want to read Covet before I eventually forget everything that I read in Crush, which is bound to happen sooner rather than later. But yeah, I think that this is a manageable duology. But yeah, I think this is a relatively manageable goal. I'm hoping to get started on this literally this week, and I will definitely have to keep you posted. I'm planning on doing a vlog, like a bookish vlog, so you'll be able to see my progress with what I'm reading. I am scared of this TBR, to be honest. I think it's manageable, but I'm scared of it because, you know, it's a lofty goal. And Six of Crows has been on my TBR for a long time. Long time. I usually just try to avoid the topic of Six of Crows. Will I finish these books? I guess you'll have to stay tuned for my March wrap-up. That's enough. Okay. On a more serious note, thank you guys so much to all of you who welcomed me back with open arms into the booktube community because, as most of you know, I took a 5-month break because it was hard to film and hard to keep up with COVID, if you saw my last video. And so many of you were so supportive and so welcoming upon my return, and I'm really grateful. I'm so excited to continue filming. I'm so excited to bring you more content. I'm so excited to go back on this journey and take you guys with me. It's truly my pride and joy. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did. As you can tell, I've had too much caffeine. If you couldn't tell, I've had too much caffeine. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed, and I can't wait to see you in my next one. Bye, guys. Wow. Wow.